welcome to another video in my Strangeness of Sharks series. Today I'm going to be talking about the strangeness seen in shark scales. What makes shark scales particularly strange comes from their name, and this is dermal denticles. Dermal meaning skin, denticles meaning teeth. So yeah, skin teeth. Elasmobranchs, which is the group sharks, skates and rays belong to, is a subgroup of the class known as chondrothes, basically cartilaginous fish. This means that instead of having a bone-based skeleton, they actually have a skeleton made of cartilage. Members of this class also have placoid scales, which is another name for dermal denticles. These scales are super similar to human teeth or any other vertebrate type of teeth, which is why they get the name dermal denticles. These placoid scales have an outer enamel as well as lots of blood vessels and a really hard core, which has often been compared to granite. So it's understandable why they get the name dermal denticles, because they are super similar to teeth structure. Each of these scales are rooted into the skin of the animal, and they only have the crown sticking out. Each crown has a set of riblets on it, and riblets are basically ridges or grooves on the top of that scale, and the number or the distribution and space between these riblets can change in between species. These scales have a lot of different uses, including drag reduction, protection from pathogens, as well as a use in food manipulation through a behaviour known as scale rasping. But we'll start with drag reduction because this is probably one of the most commonly known reasons why sharks have these particular shaped scales. Due to the fast speed and the motion of their swimming, particularly fast sharks encounter a lot of drag when they are moving through the water. In order to reduce the amount of drag when swimming, fast shark groups such as Lamnid sharks have evolved the shape and spacing of their scales. This means that skin friction is reduced, so they are able to move through the water with less energy loss, making their swimming more efficient. Studies into the Shortfin Mako, a type of Lamnid shark, have shown that it's actually able to manually erect different sections of scales. This means that each scale is not lying at the same degree, with some being more flush to the skin than others. This is particularly useful as they can alter the degree of different sections of scales on their body, meaning that they can alter the flow of water over their scales and therefore move through the water at a faster speed and with more efficiency. When bacteria, algae, or any other type of microbes or pathogens can come into contact with the skin of an aquatic organism, it can form a layer over the top of it known as a biofilm. This slime-like substance then adheres to the skin, and this can be particularly harmful if those pathogens are foreign, and it can lead to infections. The placoid scales of sharks, however, are actually able to reduce the likelihood of a biofilm forming. Because they are so rough in texture, it is not able to actually form a solid grip onto the scales. Furthermore, they have pockets of air in between each of these scales, which can serve a purpose in repelling microbes further. The manipulation of food using scales is a particularly strange behaviour to say the least. It's only been really noticed in one species of shark, however that doesn't necessarily mean that it doesn't occur in a lot of them. It just means that because of the environments that sharks live in, this is the only species that we've observed it on. This particular species is the lesser spotted dogfish. In order to manipulate their food, the lesser spotted dogfish performs a behaviour known as scale rasping. What it does is it holds onto a big chunk of food that it might have ripped off a carcass, and it moves its head to its caudal or rear end of the body. It then either moves the caudal end of its body back and forth or moves its head back and forth, basically tearing off smaller pieces from that larger hunk that it had. They can then consume these smaller pieces, which they are able to chew and swallow more easily. When hatchling dogfish are formed, they have a few areas of dermal denticles, and when studying hatchlings as well, scientists noticed that they perform scale rasping behaviour too. It is therefore likely that skin rasping behaviour is innate, meaning that it's not learned, it's actually a behaviour that these animals are born with. Sharks have really incredible scales with really unique characteristics, and it's one of the many reasons why sharks have managed to maintain their position as a top predator in the oceans for so many millions of years. It's so strange that sharks have scales super similar to human teeth, but it's just another reason on the never-ending list of why sharks are so interesting. Thank you very much for watching this video. I've linked some papers down in the description below if you'd like to learn more. There's a serious lot of complexities associated with the fluid dynamics of shark scales, but if you think you can handle that level of physics, I would definitely go and check out one of the papers I've linked because it's really interesting to read. But anyway, thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and maybe even ring that notification bell if you'd like to learn more.